10 years ago, BYD didn't even officially sell cars in Europe. Today, it has an electric SUV lineup so deep it covers nearly every price bracket on the market, from compact city runabouts under 25,000 euros to full-size 7-seat family flagships. And somewhere in that lineup sits the smartest EV purchase you could make this year. BYD has gone from being relatively unknown outside China to becoming one of the largest forces in the global EV market. And its electric SUV lineup now covers everything from affordable city cars to large 7-seat family SUVs. Every single one of these models runs on BYD's own Blade battery, built in-house through the company's deep vertical integration. Batteries, motors, chips, and electronics, all designed and produced under one roof. So, the question isn't really whether BYD makes a good electric SUV anymore. It's which one actually makes the most sense for your money. That's exactly what we're breaking down today. Let's start at number 5. Number 5. BYD Tang. The Tang sits at the top of BYD's SUV lineup. It's the full-size 7-seat flagship, the one built for families who need real space and don't want to compromise on power. Under the floor sits a massive 108.8 kilowatt-per-hour Blade battery, delivering up to 530 kilometers of WLTP combined range. Dual-motor all-wheel drive sends the Tang from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.9 seconds, which is genuinely quick for a 7-seat SUV of this size and weight. The design leans into the flagship status too. BYD's dragon face front end, a long wheelbase, wide opening doors, and 21-inch alloy wheels give the Tang real road presence. Step inside, and the theme continues. Premium black or brown leather as standard, a 15.6-inch rotating touchscreen, a 12-speaker Dyn audio sound system, and 31-color ambient light that syncs to the music. Every front seat gets attention too, with heating, ventilation, and even massage functions available. Practicality hasn't been forgotten either. 4-zone intelligent voiced interaction, multifunctional adjustable seating, child presence detection, a 3-zone climate system, and a PM 2.5 air filter all point toward a vehicle built specifically around family life. Not just specs on a page. It also carries a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, one of the strongest in its class. Charging is fast for a battery this large. 170 kilowatts DC charging takes the Tang from 30% to 80% in around 30 minutes. And the standard V2L function lets you power camping gear or outdoor equipment directly from the car. For long weekend trips with the whole family packed in, this is about as complete as an SUV gets. But there's one problem. Its higher price means it isn't necessarily BYD's best value. Number 4. BYD Seal U EV. The Seal U focuses more on comfort and practicality than outright performance. You get plenty of passenger space, a comfortable interior, useful range, and BYD's Blade battery technology. Up to 530 kilometers of WLTP combined range depending on the version. The boot alone holds 425 liters, expanding to 1,440 liters with the rear seats folded, which puts it ahead of most mid-size family SUVs on the market. Add a panoramic sliding sunroof, a floating center console with double-layer storage, and a head-up display that keeps essential information right in the driver's line of sight. And the Seal U starts to feel like a genuinely premium family vehicle rather than a budget alternative. Seating comfort is clear priority here too. Ventilated and heated front seats with electric adjustment and memory function, generous rear legroom thanks to a flat floor, and advanced NVH engineering that keeps road and wind noise out of the cabin. BYD paired that with a proper sound system and ambient lighting that wraps around the interior, syncing with the audio for a more immersive feel on longer drives. Safety credentials are strong as well. A 5-star Euro NCAP rating with a 90% score for adult occupant protection and 86% for overall occupant protection, plus a perfect score in child seat installation testing. For anyone shopping specifically with a family in mind, those numbers matter just as much as the range figure. And it's exactly why this SUV keeps showing up on so many family shortlists. For families, it's one of the most sensible BYD EVs available. If you're enjoying this ranking so far, hit subscribe now, because BYD's most impressive value play is still coming up. And it's the model that's shaping how people around the world think about affordable EVs. Number 3. BYD Atto 2. Small, affordable, and designed primarily for everyday driving. The Atto 2 gives buyers access to BYD's EV technology without paying premium SUV money. It offers up to 312 kilometers of WLTP combined range, a 0 to 100 km per hour time of 7.9 seconds, and a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. Numbers that aren't trying to impress on paper, but are more than enough for daily commuting and city driving, which is exactly the job this car is built for. What makes the Atto 2 genuinely interesting is what BYD packed underneath a car this size. It runs on the same E-Platform 3.0 architecture found in larger BYD models, complete with cell-to-body construction that integrates the blade battery directly into the car structure, boosting torsional stiffness by 32%. That's engineering usually reserved for far more expensive vehicles, not compact city SUVs. And it's a big part of why the Atto 2 doesn't feel like it's cutting corners despite its lower price point. Its compact dimensions also make it particularly attractive for city driving. At just 4.3 meters long, it's easy to park and maneuver through tight streets. Yet the efficient battery packaging still leaves generous headroom and legroom for both front and rear passengers. Inside, you'll find a vegan leather upholstery, a rotatable touchscreen, a panoramic roof, wireless charging, and a boot that holds 400 liters, expanding to 1,340 liters with the seats folded. Charging comes in at 65 kilowatts DC, taking it from 30 to 80% in about 28 minutes. Not class-leading, but perfectly reasonable for a car that will spend most of its life doing short local trips rather than long motorway hauls. This could be the sweet spot for buyers who simply don't need a huge SUV. Number 2. BYD Sea Lion 7. This is where BYD starts seriously challenging premium competitors. The Sea Lion 7 combines strong performance, a spacious interior, modern technology, and fast charging capability with aggressive pricing. The all-wheel drive version launches from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.5 seconds, with a top speed of 215 kilometers per hour and a motor spinning up to 23,000 RPM. Genuine sports SUV territory. Battery options go up to roughly 91 kilowatts per hour, and DC fast charging peaks at 230 kilowatts, meaning a 10% to 80% top-up takes only around 24 minutes on the flagship trim. Inside, it leans heavily into premium territory. Quilted Napa leather seats, vegan leather covering over 80% of the cabin, ventilated and heated seating front and rear, electric lumbar and leg support for the driver, and a boot that holds 520 liters, expanding to 1,789 liters with the seats folded. To put that into perspective, that's enough space for a large suitcase, a medium suitcase, and 4 carry-ons at the same time. Genuinely usable family trip capacity, not just a marketing figure. It also carries BYD's intelligent torque adaptation control system, which manages skidding by intelligently redistributing drive torque rather than simply cutting power, along with adaptive double wishbone and rear multi-link suspension that continuously adjusts to road conditions. Combine that with full ADAS support and 360-degree cameras, and you get a driving and safety package that, on a European or Korean SUV, would usually come with a much bigger price tag attached. And it's worth pointing out just how far BYD has come to build something like this. A brand once known purely for budget-friendly electronics and cheap batteries is now producing an SUV that sprints faster than most hot hatchbacks while still offering room for a family of 5 and their luggage. That combination, genuine performance credibility plus everyday usability, is exactly what's making rival manufacturers nervous. You get a surprise amount of EV for the money. And coming in at number 1, BYD Atto 3 and Atto 3 EVO. The Atto 3 has become one of BYD's most recognizable global models. It combines practical range, plenty of equipment, a comfortable interior, blade battery technology, and competitive pricing in one package, which is exactly why it introduced so many buyers to the brand in the first place. And with the newer Atto 3 EVO pushing the formula further, the EVO version now rides on BYD's 800V E-Platform 3.0, delivering up to 510 kilometers of WLTP combined range. Performance jumps significantly too. The all-wheel drive variant produces up to 330 kilowatts, launching from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.9 seconds, with a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour. Those are numbers that would have been unheard of in this price bracket just a few years ago, let alone attached to a practical family SUV. Charging has improved just as much. At 220 kilowatts DC, the Atto 3 Evo can go from 10 to 80% in around 25 minutes, with an optional 11 kilowatts home wall box making everyday top-ups even easier. Inside the cabin still carries the Atto 3's playful, distinctive design touches: the rotating central touchscreen, sustainable vegan leather, sports seats with heating and ventilation, a wireless charging pad built into the central armrest, and a unique speaker layout built into the door panel that doubles as a small string instrument you can strum. It's a detail that sounds gimmicky until you realize how much personality it adds to an otherwise straightforward segment. And it's the kind of small touch that keeps drivers loyal long after the novelty wears off. Combine that with a 5-star Euro NCAP rating, 7 airbags, cell-to-body structural integration, a 360-degree panoramic camera, and a fully updated infotainment system with built-in Google functionality, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. And it's easy to see why this remains BYD's benchmark model. On top of all that, its high-efficiency heat pump system keeps range losses in cold weather to a minimum, a small detail that makes a real difference in winter driving, especially for anyone relying on their SUV as a daily commuter through every season. It's also worth remembering that this is the model that built BYD's reputation in international markets in the first place. Long before the Sea Lion 7 or the Tang arrived to chase performance and luxury buyers, the Atto 3 was quietly proving that a Chinese electric SUV could be reliable, well-equipped, and genuinely enjoyable to own day to day. The Evo update doesn't abandon that formula, it sharpens it, adding real performance and faster charging on top of everything that already worked. It's arguably the BYD SUV that offers the strongest overall value for most buyers. Which BYD SUV should you actually buy? There's no single answer for everyone. If you're mainly driving around the city and want the lowest entry point into BYD ownership, the Atto 2 is built exactly for that. If you want the strongest all-around value, backed by real range, real technology, and a proven track record, the Atto 3 is the safest recommendation on this list. If performance and premium touches matter more than outright affordability, the Sea Lion 7 gives you genuine sports SUV pace without the sports SUV price. If you're raising a family and comfort tops your list, the Seal U delivers space and practicality without unnecessary extras. And if you need 7 seats, serious range, and don't want to compromise on power, the Tang sits at the very top of the lineup for a reason. BYD's biggest strength may be there's now an electric SUV for almost every type of buyer. Which one of these would you actually put in your driveway? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to keep up with the latest EV rankings and comparisons, subscribe because the lineup is only getting bigger from here.